Good morning, Britain. Israel and Hamas inch towards extending their fragile truce ahead of the midnight. We were talking about, there's so much gloomy news around, so why not celebrate early? While they might be having some success with the small mission, which is above 700,000. Under policy and the boats are a huge, which is the highest that it's been, the highest ever, I think.
Record.
And legal migration down to the tens of thousands. Over 700,000. They're nowhere near that. No. But the question, because the care sector would say yes, and our universities who are struggling with funding would say where she had asked a very, but he described her as bigoted. And this is, of course, in the last couple of days on the issue of immigration. Last night, it was Fred Sirius tackling Nigel Farage's statement about that 350 million claim. Basically, believing the 350 is taking back control.
But you've had the massive
government ticket. Euro 96 played every single minute of that talk.
One of the press secretaries.
What did we say about Kate that were urged to essentially cosplay as Diana? So a bit of her shine could rub off on them.
What does cosplay mean?
Well, dress up.
Dress up and sort of...
Merry Christmas, you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
What do you think? Do you normally do this early here?
If you can, and in the studio, we can.
So
early for you. In fact, it's late for you. Really be going
November feels too early.
And saying that they put their tree up the day after Halloween?
Well, we've got a guest who put her tree up the day after bonfire night. So,
brilliant.
People are absolutely right. Do get in touch. We are debating this morning how early is too early. At 6:03, though, our main news this morning is Israel saying it is willing to extend the truce in Gaza, due to end at midnight if Hamas releases more hostages. More than 40 women and children have already been freed, including a 4-year-old girl whose parents were murdered in the terror attack.
Well, Palestinian prisoners have also been released as part of this deal, and Hamas says that it also wants the ceasefire to continue. But politicians in Qatar, who helped broker the fragile break in fighting, have warned that the Islamist group does not know where all of the remaining hostages are being held, or indeed who is holding them captive. In a minute, we'll be talking to our correspondent Sarah Coates in Tel Aviv. But first of all, this report by Michelle Morrison.
That's our main news this morning. We will discuss that further with Lord Ed Vaizey and Kevin Maguire in a few minutes. First, though, here's Ranvir with the rest of the day's news. A couple of minutes. The weather with our sparkly lights on this morning. Lorraine is here at 9 o'clock. Morning.
Morning. And we've just...
I saw you coming in this morning, since stardom at 15, and that was it. You were on. You did. Whereas somebody like Britney Spears, you thought, how did it happen? I know.
It happened.
Oh, well, you're doing very well. Let's have a look at the weather. Here's Laura, and then we'll speak to
Look at you. You were born in 1948.
6 decades in show business because you've been...
I wrote songs for Tina Turner that